Welcome back to your weekly roundup of everything that happened in Zenless Zone Zero, where we will cover everything that you missed inside and outside of the game. I hope everyone is ready to embrace the Starlight night this week though, because starting off with in-game news, later this week on Wednesday the 27th will be the start of Phase 2 of Patch 2.8, which means a couple of new things being added into the game. Namely, the current banners will switch over to instead be Starlight Billy alongside a rerun of Orphean Magus. Also on Wednesday the 27th will be the start of the Enna into your lap login campaign, where you can earn up to 10 boopons for logging in across 7 days total during the campaign period. Also on Wednesday will be the new event Spirit Artist's Notebook, where we will help Badiboo track down various wanted agents each day for some polychrome rewards as well as other upgrade materials. And then on Friday will be the regularly scheduled Shiyu defense reset. The first stage buff will increase agent sheer damage by 35% and increase physical damage by 10%, as well as all basic, EX special and ultimate damage will ignore 10% of the enemy's physical resistances. In other words, this is the "Hey, did you pull for Starlight Billy" stage? Stage 2 then increases agent ice damage by 10% as well as anomaly proficiency by 40 points. And when an enemy is afflicted by an attribute anomaly, the entire squad's bloom damage will increase by 30% and also ignore 20% of the enemy's ice resistances specifically. So in other words, this is the Promeia stage. And the third stage will increase agent electric damage by 20% as well as increasing all basic, special and EX special attacks by 40%, which will also ignore 15% of the enemy's defenses. So basically this is the "Hey guys, you remember Sissia, right?" stage. And lastly, with it nearing the end of the month, this is also your friendly reminder to make sure that you've bought out everything that you need from the signal shop, like the discounted pulls, as well as the resources from Scout Outpost Logistics Shop. And if you would like even more discounted pulls, then boy, have I got the thing for you. If you are in need of some monochrome, why not try using U7Buy? A fast, safe and affordable place to purchase top-ups for a bunch of different games, including of course Zenless Zone Zero. And there's no need to worry about the reliability. As you can see by the reviews of U7Buy over on Trustpilot, they are highly rated. U7Buy's Zenless Zone Zero top-up page lets you recharge instantly for a fraction of the price. You'll see the prices look similar to in-game at first, but once you hit buy now, the price drops at checkout to the actual discounted amount. You're paying less without even realizing it at first. And the process is simple. Just select your server, enter your UID, complete the payment, and the monochrome will be sent directly to your account in seconds. No other account information necessary. And if you want to save even more, you can also use my discount code Shanaha for another 8% off your purchase. So click the link in the description below and head on over to U7Buy and start saving today. Moving on to the social media side of things, firstly, a happy birthday to Bernice, who recently had her birthday, as well as anybody else who has a birthday in the coming week. But of course, with Starlight Billy's release coming out in a few days, we've also gotten a character demo for Billy, although with no special retweet campaigns or anything like that as of yet, like we did with Promeia. Speaking of Promeia though, a free set of wallpapers featuring her from her promotional videos are free to download in 4K resolution using the link in the description below. Otherwise, there wasn't really much else from the social media side of things, aside from the generic Billy promotional stuff. However, moving back over to the speculation zone and some of the news surrounding patch 3.0, first things first is that we have the potential rerun banners for patch 3.0. Now these of course are not yet set in stone, but supposedly the two agents being rerun will be Yexing Wang as well as Sinner. The exact order of which one comes first and second is unknown, but it is funny that these two are being rerun so soon, entirely skipping over the likes of Dylan and Ban Yue. But it is kind of interesting seeing specifically Yexing Wang being rerun, especially considering how it seems like we might be shifting away from the attacker style agents, what with the new wind element from Velina, and of course the potential of Remiel being an anomaly agent. Or actually instead, I guess, maybe that's why they want to rerun Yexing Wang now. While people think that she's still super relevant at the moment, they might get lured into the FOMO and decide to pull for her, only to have the rug pulled from underneath them to realize how much more anomaly shilling would be on the horizon. This is actually also somewhat reminiscent of patch 2.1, where very early on in the new season, they reran Miyabi, the last season's Void Hunter. So maybe this is actually the case of, hey, it's a brand new season, maybe this will attract some new and returning players that missed out on the last Void Hunter, so let's give them a chance to catch up with one of the highlight agents from the last season, at least if we're being hopeful about their intentions with this rerun. Next up from patch 3.0, we've actually got some footage from one of the hardcore game modes, alongside some of the details for the special boss specific missions. In one boss fight against Billy, there is a special mechanic where over time, you build up stacks of an effect that slowly drains your health over time. Parrying Billy or applying anomalies will transfer the stacks to him, and if he hits you, he will transfer them back onto you. The special 4th star goal for this fight is to simply not get hit by him. Now, this is just for the Billy fight, while other bosses will have different goals and mechanics. But as you can see at the end of the fight, some specific metrics are tracked, and these are used for that 4th star goal. In Billy's case, of course, it is the number of times getting hit by him. And then for something highly speculative, but you'll need to bear with me for this now and take everything in to understand the context. But it is with regards to Jane, specifically the possibility of a potential unlock for her, similar to the stuff that Bernice or Sandy have gotten. You see, beforehand, there used to be some small hints of a Jane unlock in the game's code. However, now, in one of the latest versions of patch 3.0, any of these hints towards Jane's potential unlock have been removed. The exact reasoning behind why this was removed is not exactly known. Maybe they're reworking it. Maybe they are in fact removing it. Maybe they no longer need it to test it in the betas. Maybe it'll come in at a different time. Who knows? But one thing is for sure, and that is that a lot of physical, or specifically assault-related things are happening on in the background. Because throughout patch 3.0, the assault vortex damage reactions, so that's physical and the wind interaction, has constantly been undergoing multiplier adjustments. At first, it had a 650% damage multiplier, which was then buffed to 1100%, which was then nerfed down to 900%, and now most recently it was adjusted again to be adjusted into only 800% of a damage multiplier. Right now in the betas, people have been testing out various anomaly teams with Velina, all at 0 Mindscape, albeit with base level signature engines, but they are all consistently doing very well, scoring upwards of 30,000 points in deadly assault stages. Now granted, this is with the shield buffs in effect, but still, it is quite clear that Velina is strong, specifically with how she interacts with other anomaly agents. All of this is to say that because of the introduction of Velina and Wind specifically, and Vortexes, this could all be the reason why there are so many tweaks regarding Jane's possibility of a potential unlock. And also specifically, of course, the Assault Vortex multipliers. Maybe the devs are being cautious about giving Jane a potential unlock, which makes her a bit too ridiculous when paired with Velina. Maybe that's why they keep turning back the Assault multiplier, to specifically make sure that Jane, with a possible potential unlock, isn't too strong. Maybe they saw the current potential unlock with these damage multipliers would be too strong, and maybe they're now going back to the drawing board to rework it or maybe even remove Jane's potential unlock. It's hard to say really, but it does seem like it is possible that the devs are being extremely cautious around Jane specifically becoming a bit of a menace when paired up with Velina and her wind vortexes, which is honestly kind of disappointing to me. Like, oh no, heaven forbid one of the original agents from all the way back in 1.1 actually be, usable instead of the shiny new toys that they want you to pull for. But of course, this is all from a patch 3.0 beta. And although technically speaking, we never had real confirmation of a Jane potential unlock in the first place, we technically can't be mad at something that never existed. But we can of course be disappointed at the lack of something. But there is still some time for things to change though, so maybe not all hope is lost for the RAT believers out there. Maybe they'll find a nice sweet balance of the Assault Vortex multiplier while still making Jane very strong and, not too broken. I'm sure some of us would love to be able to reuse some older agents and have them actually do well in endgame content. I mean, for me, I'd love to be able to bring back Shuyan and Caesar to relevance. But what about you guys though? Let me know down in the comments below who you would like to see make a bit of a resurgence now. Maybe with potential unlocks, or maybe just with new pairings with good synergy in newer units. Otherwise though, if you made it to the end of the video, leaving a like as well as commenting and subscribing would be greatly appreciated. Otherwise, until next time, bye bye!